weekend. And joining me in the commentary box.
Nice move, keep going. The car behind starting to drop back. There's a gap beginning to form, let's make the most of it. Okay, you've got P5, P5. Okay, gap to leader, 5.1 seconds. Okay, that's Hadja just ahead of you. Push hard. Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 2.9 seconds. And that's Colapinto behind. Less than a second separates you. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. All right, 6 laps to go now. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 2.1 seconds. P5. Our gap to first place, 5.9 seconds. Okay, Hadger's ahead of you. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by, 2.4 seconds. Russell behind. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, just 5 laps until the end. Tyre condition still looking good. Okay, you've got P5, P5. Hadger ahead. Okay, gap to the car ahead, 1.5 seconds. Okay, Russell's behind you now. Okay, so gap to the leader, 5.3 seconds. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Okay, so overtake is active. Overtake mode active. You're going to get more power from the hybrid system. You know how it works. Just use boost on the next long straight to get your way past. That's P5, you're in P5. Okay, that's Hadger just ahead of you. Push hard. Okay, the gap is less than a second. Russell behind. The distance to the leader, 5.0 seconds. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Okay, let's try and overtake them now. Okay, Hadger's ahead of you. Time last lap, 1 minute 15.7. Okay, gap to the car in front, 0.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 6 laps old. Okay, so you're gaining by 1/10 a lap. Final lap, final lap. Push, push. race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Okay, guys, yeah, let's analyze the whole weekend because I think we lack some pace throughout, so let's analyze it.
So that wraps up the sprint race, but there's still more action yet to come this weekend. We've got qualifying and, of course, the Grand Prix. Welcome back, everybody. We're here in Canada at the wonderful Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Who's going to come out fastest of all in the next hour? Yes, it's time for qualifying.
Okay, radio check, radio check.
Ready, check.
Standing by. Okay, I'm afraid we've been pushed down to P16. Might see some rain, ETA about 15 minutes. Okay, be careful with the front wing, you've taken some minor damage.
We're back once again beside the St. Lawrence River here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. The event first moved to the variant of this track back in 1978, and it was won by none other than Gilles Villeneuve, the first Canadian to ever win his home race, and in whose honour the circuit would be renamed. It's a tricky circuit to tackle in wet conditions, with top speed still of critical importance down the long back straight. There are 2.7 miles and 14 corners overall on this circuit that in the dry can see average lap speeds of around 130 miles per hour. We'll be lucky to get anywhere near that today. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Isaac Hadjar lines up on pole position, and Oscar Piastri completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Antonelli, George Russell and Norris, Verstappen, Sainz, Albon and Pierre Gasly, Alonso, Perez, Charles Leclerc and Stroll, Colapinto, Behrman, Arvid Lindblad and Valtteri Bottas, Ocon, Lawson, Bortoletto and Nico Hülkenberg rounds off the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. Alongside me here in the commentary box today, former racing driver extraordinaire Naomi Schiff. And let's talk momentum with this driver. What a sprint it was. They start at 0 once again for today, but with a huge amount of confidence, surely. Well, they'll definitely be glad that there's not a sprint race today. Let's face it, the sprint couldn't have gone much worse, but what we're looking for today is a reaction. Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada, what a track this is, and what a challenge for the drivers this weekend. Long straights, heavy braking zones, and a very green surface to start with.
This happens to be one of the drivers' favourites. It is a low downforce circuit that is fast and flowing, but it is also demanding on the brakes. And be careful, because let's not forget the wall of champions that catches out so many.
Right then, the formation lap has started, and I must say the weather conditions aren't the best today for visibility and for grip. As each driver performs this lap, they'll be wanting to settle in and concentrate, as this race, in these conditions, will require a lot of focus. So as all the cars reform the grids, the drivers will be hoping to get a strong start. They'll want to earn some valuable points from today's race, with final communications being done with their race engineers, ensuring the planned strategies are all in place.
Okay, so overtake mode active. You'll get some extra power from the hybrid system now. Use boost on the next long straight to get past. Okay, you're in ninth position. Albon just ahead. Push for that position. Okay, gap ahead, 1.0 seconds. That's Sainz behind you now. Okay, gap to leader, 5.5 seconds. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 24 laps to go. is 5 or 10 minutes more of rain before it starts to dry up. Okay, not sure whether dries or inters are faster, we're right on the crossover. You're in the top 10 now, keep it up. Gap to the car in front, 2.9 seconds. Out quite soon. Be careful you don't burn out your tyres. The weather's turning. We think it's time to box now. Valtteri's in the pits. Okay, mate, that's it. Go, go, go. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good. Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 2.5 seconds. Slow down before hitting the corners. We don't want to get a penalty. That's 8th place. You're in 8th place. Our gap to first place, 9.4 seconds. Albon ahead. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 1.9 seconds. Verstappen behind you now. Look after these tyres now, we want to finish the race on this compound. I'm afraid you've been given a time penalty for that last incident, mate. Right, you've got boost mode available now. Use it if you want to. That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done. Stable at the moment, no rain currently expected. Okay, dries seem like the best tyre for now. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 17.5 seconds. Checo. Albon's ahead of you. Right, let's go. Let's try and get past them and put them on the back foot. Push, push. Oh, mate, great stuff. You hit that target. That sets us up nicely for the rest of this race. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 4.4 seconds. That's P7 now, P7. Okay, so gap to the leader, 9.9 seconds. Okay, Antonelli ahead. Okay, gap to the car ahead, 4.4 seconds. That's Albon behind you. Less than a second separates you. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. And that's 14 laps to go. Systems all looking good. Head down. Strong, but be aware these tyres need to go the distance. Caution! Okay, the incident's been cleared. Let's get back up to racing speed. Come on. Okay, gap to the car in front. 4.2 seconds. pulling out a second a lap on the car behind. Really good stuff. Valtteri is in for his stop. Okay, gap ahead, 7.3 seconds. Okay, we can't take you right now. Hit next lap, next lap. Understood. Stopping this lap. Okay, go, go, go! Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that. Hadjar ahead and gap to the car in front, 6.4 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Their tyres are just one lap old, and the time last lap, 1:15.3. Colapinto behind you. Time last lap, 1:17.2. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Okay, they've done 10 laps on those tyres. We think they've got one more stop. P7, 7th place. Okay, that's Hadjar just ahead of you. Push hard. Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 5.9 seconds. And Verstappen's behind. The distance to the leader, 14.2 seconds. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. 9 laps to go. Okay, Checo, we're not using as much fuel as we predicted, which means we've got extra performance in hand. So let's push, push, and use it all up. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 5.5 seconds. Gap to your teammate behind, 21.7 seconds. Okay, unlucky, mate. That wasn't quite what we needed, but let's not worry about it. Get your head down and chin up. There's a long way to go. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 5.2 seconds. We need to catch up with the car ahead. Gap is currently around 5 seconds. Managing your tyres, manage your tyres. Okay, expect to see some rain about 10 to 15 minutes from now. P7 now, P7, okay, gap to leader, 18.6 seconds. Okay, Hadger's ahead of you. Okay, gap to the car ahead, 6.0 seconds. Verstappen behind you now. Okay, the gap is less than a second. That was our last stop, no more scheduled pit stops, let's go. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Ahead. Okay, gap to the car in front, 6.9 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Okay, their tyres are 7 laps old. And the time last lap, 1:15.6. The car behind's gaining on you by 5/10 a lap. Okay, gap ahead, 8.0 seconds. Final lap, let's go. Final lap. Gap to the car in front, 13.8 seconds. Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Okay, guys, yeah, let's analyze the whole weekend because I think we lack some pace throughout, so let's analyze it.
And here he comes. It's all go, go, go for Lando Norris as he takes the checkered flag and wins.
It's not every day that we get to see such incredible wheel-to-wheel racing. Next time, they might consider making it easier for themselves, but today, we absolutely loved all the action that we got to see out there.
And it's time for that special moment for our special three today. The podium awaits our top three finishers. He holds the trophy aloft, and why shouldn't he? A richly deserved day for Lando Norris. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.